as a committee, we wanted to take evidence on progress of this strategy. And you're right, it was approved by Tynwald in December 2012. And actually, when we took some evidence and asked which of the 7 objectives had been achieved, the answer was, well, we haven't really made much headway on the objectives.
Which is hugely disappointing, isn't it?
It is disappointing, and actually, to be fair to those who gave us evidence, they were disappointed as well. I mean, they acknowledged that it had been difficult and were disappointed at the levels of progress made.
Some buzzwords from the previous administration, but have certainly crossed over to some effect into the current administration, came out. Silo mentality was one, cross-department not really gelling as a unit to work together to bring a strategy through. These are old subjects, aren't they?
They are, but I don't think we should stop listening to the theme, because the theme, I think, is a really, really important one. And I think criminal justice shows you how important it is to be able to work effectively cross-agency and cross-departmentally. I mean, if you look at the constituent parts of our criminal justice system, you're talking about our prison service, probation service, the police force, then you're talking about the courts and general registry, the prosecution service and the Attorney General's chambers, the advocates who work on the other side. So you are talking about many different parts. And actually, if you really want to be thoughtful about things like prevention, and particularly how we try and stop some of our perhaps vulnerable young people even entering our criminal justice system, then you're talking about education, you're talking about health and social care. So you really, really, I don't want this to become something that people tune out. This is really significant if we want to generate best outcomes, that we can work well together.
People out there will ask, well, this is nothing new. We've known that the current structure isn't delivering when it involves many agencies, so what's going to change?
Well, I think that is the issue that everyone now is really turning their mind to, and I'm really pleased about that. I mean, those who may have listened into the debate in Tynwald on this particular report, I hope will have heard that people were saying, we need to work on things, but we need to work jointly. And I think there are thoughts going on. I mean, there are some structures already that sit there. For example, you have the Social Policy and Children's Subcommittee of the Council of Ministers. So that brings together Department of Home Affairs, Department of Education, Department of Health and Social Care. But even so, we still need to dismantle some of those structures and the budgeting, the way we work together and pool funds to achieve joint aims. So there have been steps, I suppose, but I think there's a real opportunity now to look more deeply at how we structure ourselves and how we can better work together to deliver strategic outcomes.
One committee member, Chris Robertshaw, will say, well, I've been telling you this for years.
And he has. But I think it is increasingly acknowledged that this is an area of challenge, but we have to work on it, because that's the way we're really going to move forward.
It was noticeable that on this occasion ministers got up and talked about it, which wouldn't have happened, I think, in the past.
Yeah,
maybe they would have just gone, oh, it's Chris Robertshaw banging the same drum again.
And I'm enormously encouraged, and I was delighted that the committee did have such frank and open engagement with the various people who gave us evidence. And I was also delighted that we had a mature, constructive debate in Tynwald that was about saying, this hasn't gone in the way we all hoped. We have some real challenges. And actually, we really do have to turn our minds to making some changes to address this.
So if we fast forward a year, will we be talking in different terms, or will we be going, well, we haven't got really very far again, have we?
I would like to say, I mean, it's always difficult, isn't it, to crystal ball gaze, but I would like to say there is a real opportunity at the moment. I mean, one of the things that will come to Tynwald in May is the Sir Jonathan Michael review into our health and social care system. And I think there is real opportunity to look again at what we do and whether we can do it better. And a lot of that, I think, is how we can enable different parts of government and other agencies. Because the other part of it is partnering also with a lot of our third sector organisations who do immense work. But when we work well strategically together, we will achieve so much more. So I think there is opportunity, and I think there are more people who can see this and who would like to make it work. So I'm hopeful, Tim.